Hi class. So today what we will be doing is we'll be talking about fractions, decimals, and percents. And for the most part you'll always be able to use your calculator when converting these. But we're going to walk through how to do it without a calculator and then also how to do it with a calculator. So to start off with, we're looking at how do we convert this decimal to a percent. 0.25. I know most of you might recognize what this is. But how are we going to convert this not using our calculator? If we take a look, we have 0.25. We must shift the decimal place 2 times. So after shifting it once and then twice, as you can see on the screen, that will shift it to the hundredths place. So we have 25 hundredths, which is 25%. On a calculator, we would do 0.25, multiply that by 100. For the next one, I want you to look at this. This is just a negative percent. And when we're looking at negative percents, it's the same as positive, but we just have to remember to carry the negative. So if we have negative 0.15 and we want to convert that to a percent, we will just shift the decimal place once and twice as shown in the screen, and we have negative 15%. Or on a calculator, you will do negative 0.15, hit the multiply button, and that multiply by 100, and then that will convert it to a percent for you. I'd like you to try this one on your own. So if you could please pause the video and try this one by yourself. Alright, so now that we've looked at it, what we'll start off with is that we know 0.60, we will convert it to 60% by shifting decimal place 2 times, and or on the calculator you can multiply that by 100 because it's 60 100ths. That'll give you the percentage. For the next one, we're going to learn how to do a fraction to a decimal using your calculator. So if you don't have your calculator, I'd like you to pause the video. If you do, you can continue. In this fraction we have shown, we have 3 over 5, so 3/5. And when we're looking at trying to convert that, we have our numerator and our denominator. The numerator is the number on top, and the denominator is the number on the bottom. The fraction bar means division. So when we look at the fraction bar, we have 3 on top, and we always go numerator divided by the denominator. So we'll go 3 divided by 5 equals 0.6, and that is how we'll convert a fraction to a decimal. So in your calculator, you will put in 3, you'll hit the division sign, 5, that will equal your decimal. I'd like you to try this one on your own, even though it is a negative number, but remember we just carry that negative with us. Please pause the video and write in your notes. Alright, so now that you've tried it on your own, let's take a look. We have 5, which is our numerator, divided by 6, which is in our denominator. So we always go numerator divided by denominator, and that'll give us 0.83. If you notice that if you look at 0.83, we actually have a line above the 0.3. If you think you know what that means, could you just jot that down in your notes? If not, we'll talk about it in class the next day, what that line above the 3 means. I would like you to look at the 3/8 problem that I have written down here. So we know how to convert a fraction to a decimal and a decimal to a percent. But how do we convert a fraction to a percent? That will be using all of the methods that we've been using already. So we'll take our 3/8, we take our we know that that equals 0.375, and we can either do it by hand by moving the decimal places shifting it 2 places to the right, or we can do it 3 divided by 8 like in our calculator, and we know that that equals 37.5%. So there we went from a fraction all the way over from a fraction to a percent. I'd like you to finish out your guided notes, and we will talk about it more in class the next day. Thank you.